An accident.
This is a public building, number one. Number two,
Public building
this is not your
entrance
house.
to the front.
It's not your
Number
house.
one. Number two is if someone came into my private property, I would probably ask them to come in if they wanted to and treat them with a little bit of respect to see what's going on.
100%
Unless they're having a gun and shooting people, and that's a whole different story.
100% coming into
This
the front.
could have all been
100%.
avoided if they would have just said the entrance is around the corner.
But it's
You're in the wrong
like
area.
you say, it's how would you say it? Because I wasn't here in the beginning.
Because they all came out
It's
angry.
common sense. It's common sense. Well, you have to understand
Wait,
that.
where's the level? We
you
start off in
have-
anger. Wait, where do you
have
go
to
from there?
understand-
Explosion?
Are you going to let me talk, or you want to just talk over me?
I'll listen to what you
Okay.
feel.
It's kind of common sense that if you go to someone's house or a public building, normally, not every situation, normally, you enter through the front, right? Common sense?
Well, we just didn't know.
Regular old common sense, right?
We just
Okay,
didn't know.
now, coming over here,
We thought maybe it was an alleyway.
coming over here, you say it's an alleyway, but alleyways could be determined
It
differently.
could cut around. I thought maybe it could cut around.
All right, so
and maybe you
why
just park
would
around the
you walk
outside of it.
into, like, let's say you say it's an alleyway. Why would you walk
Yeah,
into
they
someone
said come on in if you
alleyway?
wanted to. If you want to get a complete complaint.
People-
Why would you walk into someone else's
alleyway. Alleyways they're everywhere. There's some alleyways, most
I
alleyways are
understand
public.
that, but most of these houses here, the alleyway belongs to that house.
So real quick, I hear what you're trying to say, but real quick,
Alleyway.
that this is a public building and it has multiple entrances and
He's
exits.
stretching it out.
So it is what it is.
Yes.
So again, I just kind of said if you don't want people back there, then one of two things really should be done. Maybe put a sign up, simple sign, no public allowed. Put a little gate, which might be too expensive and maybe
Well,
tough to
with
do.
COVID, just so you understand, all right, because of COVID, they had to go into the back to take reports. But now those restrictions have been lifted, and we have to wait for maintenance to put the signs back up.
Which is fine. So in the meantime, you really can't blame certain people that may wander into that area. Look at this.
I wasn't here in the beginning, but I don't think I blamed anybody for wandering.
Well, I don't put a blame on things. I'm just saying, I'd rather look for a resolve than a blame. So going forward, get the signs up quick. Try to do something. Try to inform the officers, because some of the officers said we are allowed back there, while others say we're not allowed back there.
We're not your enemy.
So we weren't sure. It's
No
very
one said you're my
conflicting.
enemy,
Well,
sir.
you come up and you're posing like
You were kinda hostile in the
friend,
beginning.
and then you're staring
I'm
them
sitting
down.
here, right, trying to get into my driveway. I consider my driveway because I work here.
You have an audible device called a horn, and you can just do that.
But
and then
why
you-
would I want to chirp the horn and maybe scare your
and-
friend who
and
had his back
who
turned?
had his back towards you? Exactly, right?
Turn
Say
his
that
back.
again.
Back towards
His back
me. Why
towards
would you
Sergeant
want me to
Stutz?
scare him?
Why would you do that? Just to scare him?
I'm saying, why would you want me to hit the horn to scare him?
Oh, but hitting up against his leg is not going to scare him.
You honestly think I hit up against his leg?
Yeah, I watched it. I'll have to go back and see if I
Okay,
got it.
please go back and see it. Because
And-
if I
and-
hit his leg,
And your buddies.
that's my fault.
Your buddies,
You don't
your
hit my
people
leg.
that you work
Hold on, sir. We're not buddies or people. You're officers and my brothers and sisters. That's what they are.
Are your brothers and sisters?
Yes.
They're leaving the back door propped open. If we were bad people and they had dangerous intents, that could have turned into an awful situation.
So
you
that-
might want to make
all
sure
right,
that you guys keep the back door
I
closed.
get
It's a dangerous
it.
I
thing.
had my eye on it, don't worry.
I get what
We're
you
not
guys are
putting
trying to
blame
say.
on anybody, ma'am.
All right, I
It is what it
100%
is.
I get what you're trying to say.
You know, Alan,
As smart as all
I'm happy
three of
about
you
that,
are,
Alan.
As smart as all three of you are, or appear to be, right? Your main thing right now is to try to put police on YouTube to make what?
Well, put it this way.
Transparency happen.
If we have a good response, that goes on. If there's a bad response, that also goes on. So we don't make the story. The police make the story. We're just filming.
Look at it.
We're just walking into a public building filming.
You can call the dispatcher and ask
Right
them.
to
They'll give you a letter.
that, right to that line is what
Well, you have to exercise your rights or you lose them.
exercising rights. I agree with you 100%.
So policies and wishes about don't come in here, don't do this, is really not what you have to uphold. You have to uphold what you took an oath to, which is the Constitution. Correct.
Constitution, correct.
So these policies and statutes that are all over the place go against the Constitution. Every single one of them do. So we like to stand up for our rights and exercise things that are illegal to
Now,
the world.
Can I ask you, did any one of my officers approach you on the street, not in the backyard, approach you on the street and violate any one of your rights? Had they now,
Not me.
right now, me, any of my officers,
They did illegally detain us.
Yeah.
how is it illegally detaining?
Yeah,
Well, because
we have to have
they
RAS,
have
you
to
know
have
what that
RAS.
is?
You have to have
You know what RAS
a
is?
suspicion that we committed a crime, about to commit a crime, or will commit a crime.
That you
Okay,
have,
so
what I mean?
suspicion.
or
So
about to-
somebody, hold on. Let me talk to him, please.
I think you need to hear it
So-
twice. You know.
In the grand scheme of things that's going on today against law enforcement, right? You have 3 individuals that no one here knows
Explaining away.
coming into
Someone's
our
screaming in the back.
backyard, right? Do me a favor, sir. Sir.
Look at
Please
this.
don't walk behind me when I'm having
Oh
a
my
conversation.
God, for officer
All right?
safety. Okay, so
Thank you.
Look,
Now,
if you care so much about your safety,
Can I go around?
If you cared so much
Sir,
about your
let me
safety,
finish my
why
train
are you
of thought,
pulling
'cause I'm
people
really
over
not
for
gonna-
having
I'm
something
also-
Just
obstructing
if you
their
don't mind, if you
view?
don't
Okay.
mind, just while we're having a conversation,
All right.
just stay in front of them.
Now,
It's really not
with
that
everything
hard.
going on with
While
law
we're done having a
enforcement, right?
conversation, then you can do whatever you
3
want.
individuals walk into the federal
But
building,
if you guys
the
want
North
to
District,
have a conversation,
over here,
why not stay?
okay?
It's kind of
FBI
rude for me
building.
to give you my
I said
back. I
federal
mean, I'm
building,
just saying.
FBI building.
Oh, that's what you meant.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm just trying to
Over here.
simplify so where you feel comfortable and we
You
can
get
all have a
detained and stopped
conversation.
by all of them, correct?
No, we did not get detained or stopped by any of them,
The
actually.
feds didn't stop.
Yeah.
FPS did come out.
Okay.
They did talk to us.
Right.
Had a nice consensual conversation about what we were doing there and why we're here, and they told us to come back on Monday.
Grand scheme of things, if law enforcement is being targeted by both good, maybe you, and bad, possibly you,
Anybody can walk to the front. Anybody.
coming in and videotaping, maybe to get, like you said, oh, there's
We don't allow
issues, you
anybody
don't have any
inside of
signs, you can walk in the back door. How do I know you're not, say, planning to do something a month, a week, a year down the road?
I do understand your training does make you very paranoid.
Okay.
That's
But
not really
well, okay, that's my word. So in my eyes, every single citizen is not a bad guy. And you guys have to differentiate through your training and other things and asking questions and experience and all that stuff all together to decide if someone's a threat or not. So when someone does walk back there and they're holding cameras and they really are not doing anything nefarious, then maybe they shouldn't come out and start attacking
He's not
and
afraid of
forcing
somebody
and
walking
forcing.
behind
You
him
know
on
what I
the
mean?
sidewalk.
So a little bit, and no kidding,
I don't
and
know
it's all
exactly
good.
what happened.
Right.
I'm going by what
You
you're
never
saying.
heard the term saying, being safe than sorry?
It's all good. You know what I
I
mean?
hope it's all good.
To me, it is. I don't judge anybody. You know,
It's not
I
about
just.
judging in the moment, it's about judging in the future.
Do they have a
And
label?
that's
does this go from
understandable.
here? Where does this go from here?
You can't do that.
So what we're trying to do is kind of shine the light
Why are you
on
so negative?
reaction,
The negative people
Good,
are
bad, or
saying,
indifferent.
"Oh, that's so weird."
and we show the world that reaction. Again, we're just the writer of the book. You guys are the books. You know what I mean? So how you react to it
Would you want
dictates
your information
what happens
that
and
Are
the
you
opinion
keen
of
to
the
police
public.
to tell us
I just want
personally?
to
I always said,
complain for
real
them.
idiot
You guys
tyrant
get on
cops,
phone
You can do that. You
they're the
listen,
ones
you
that
have
get
the
good
number.
cops
Pretty sure you
killed
have the
because
You're
of they'll,
discriminating on me to go inside.
maybe some
I'm not.
unsecure people will see an officer doing something bad to somebody and get real angry, and
I never
they live
said you can't
7
do that.
states away, so they may be attacking other
I want to
officers.
know.
Yeah.
So if you're going to discriminate,
All right, guys. Sergeant,
Did he just say your car's in violation?
You're good.
The sergeant?
he wanted to get it out of the way.
Just reprimand the sergeant. Guys, have a good one.
All right, a bunch of cops playing in and trying to be nice.
In regards to what? You want to say hello? You can say hello. Historical building. It's, you know. You can record the historic building all you want. It is a historic building.
Is
It's
it?
not a historical landmark.
Is it really? Nice.
It is turn of the century. Huh? Okay, so it's not giving nobody problems. But there's certain things. We didn't come. No, I didn't say that.
all right. So could you kindly grab us some complaint forms and bring them out? We want to record us legally being given complaint forms that are supposed to go out.
Complaint forms for what?
Attorney General says.
Police misconduct complaint
Attorney
forms?
General's guideline says that you can get a complaint form anytime from any.
Anybody can get that. There are no forms for that. Anybody can get that. You make a request for that in writing and they'll give it to you.
That's not how it works. You just show
Yeah,
them in the
that is
lobby.
how it works.
Have them in the lobby. Pardon me? Have them in the lobby too. Complaint form.
Well, it's always nicer when a citizen wants to get a simple form if they could just walk into a station and grab one, I think is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, there's allowed
looking
to stay.
right through me.
Absolutely there is.
Steam coming out of his ears.
Absolutely there is.
Yeah.
Absolutely there is.
Have you
So-
figured out what my channel's name is yet?
You?
My channel name is yet?
No.
Figured it out? I'm running for mayor, brother. You can vote for me if you lived in my town.
Yeah, what town do you live in?
I want to hold it.
What town do you live in?
Close to my town.
I live in Newark.
You live in Newark?
That's right, born and raised.
Oh, that's what's up.
Good. All right.
Yeah,
It's
man.
great. It's good to see that. All
for
right.
you.
Born and raised.
Proud.
Yeah, it's rare to see that nowadays.
There's a lot of buildings here. I like the post office building. I like the
With the
Beautiful
courthouse mixed in, oh my God, that was so nice. of
Yeah,
you.
that
post office building was
If you see my Jersey City video, the Jersey City manager elbowed me in the spine. I want to let everyone know I still got to FOIA request that footage and get Sadiq fired. Yeah.
So the real thing is our government and police have been unchecked for decades. It is time to start holding our public officials accountable for their actions.
I believe in that.
And that's all we're about.
I
Okay?
believe in that.
If not, then
You
you
know,
will.
it's not that we're
No, I believe
anti-police
in that.
or anti-anything.
I believe in accountability.
You know, and being unchecked for so long have given so many big egos to people that misuse that ego.
I doesn't check you guys.
Those are people, they're representatives, all right? They're not leaders.
Well, I hope you as a lieutenant train and respect and are very professional. I don't know you, but I hope that's the case. You came out, you seemed a little bit peeved, you didn't detain us, you didn't falsely arrest us. Appreciate that. You know,
Exactly.
Hey, Lieutenant, what river was that guy? I do investigative journalism. What river was that guy talking about? So I can do a story on it. You know, if the locals ask, I always.
What do you mean? I
If
didn't
the
hear
local
about a
asked me
river.
to come to 3rd Precinct, I come to 3rd Precinct. He said, forget about the cracks in the foundation of this building, because I want to get you guys more funding for this building. You shouldn't have cracks in your foundation. It can go down.
So what river are you referring to?
I don't know. He said
He made reference to what? You talking about a civilian?
Yeah, you remember how the
There's all trash along the river wall.
Yeah,
Trash?
he said something.
Yeah, I'm
about
sure
the
there is.
river.
That's been going on for years. That's public knowledge.
and that's the other
That's
thing
the
is,
Passaic River.
and real quick, that's the other thing is, the money that I use the word extort through taxes, they don't use to better the city or the town. There's trash, there's broken down buildings. Where's all the money that they get for the taxes?
That's why we vote and we should vote, right?
Well,
People
voting is
should-
a whole nother
people should
story.
get involved and make their elected
I don't think
representatives.
voting's the answer.
You want to
Accountable.
let people know
I don't
on
think voting.
camera?
What are we supposed to do? Vote harder?
You want
Yeah,
to?
absolutely. How many people actually vote? How many people in your family vote?
It doesn't work.
Lieutenant,
How many people in your family vote?
everybody. Lieutenant,
Nah.
First
Guaranteed.
Everybody.
around here it's a
Yeah,
lot
my
of shady
family, everybody.
business. It's a lot of shady business in the public sector, especially in this area of New Jersey. There's a lot of mafia style tied nepotism.
There's nepotism in every part of government you
Well,
go to.
right, so the
It shouldn't
corruption's
be
so
in
deep.
government.
You're
From
correct.
top to bottom.
So that's why we shine a light on it.
There's nepotism in private business.
And that's nothing.
There's
to,
nepotism.
that's
It's
nothing
human.
to bat an eye
Nepotism
at.
is human nature.
That's nothing to just shrug off. That's
Nepotism
like,
is human nature.
Well, it doesn't have to be. It may
But
be.
it is.
It may be, but it
is.
doesn't have to be.
You'll
So,
find it everywhere, every country,
so why
in every
don't
part of society.
why don't people start to try and change things for the better? And maybe that's what we're trying to do in our own little way.
I'm glad you are.
You know, so it's not that we're hurting people or attacking or a
You
threat.
haven't hurt me.
Well, no, I'm not saying you. I'm just talking
the
in general.
cops love it when we record the town council people and the other.
So we go to our school board meetings, we go to our local township meetings, we like to
the cops
question and
probably don't
ask.
like the mayor because he's cracking down on them a little bit. You know, the prosecutor's office, all quarrels.
Can you say vote for Cristo on?
I don't involve myself in politics when I'm working.
Good for you.
Yeah, okay.
In my private time,
So again,
exercise
you know,
my rights.
Good, because
Alright,
they can
good.
retaliate on you if they think you're not
we
voting
do
for
have a
their
legal
guy.
right to go into that police department lobby, that public lobby, and record ourselves getting.
this particular, when these small lobbies, unfortunately, the way these buildings are situated, like I said, I've got a domestic violence scene
You have
right now.
Right now. Okay.
Right now,
All right.
victim.
Okay.
So
All right.
typically, when they're designed this way, the bigger lobbies
Well, since
probably
you
like
told me-
480 Clinton Avenue.
Yeah, since you just told the camera, and I go in there, everybody's gonna see, and you know.
Yeah, they're gonna see you holding the camera.
They're gonna know that that's the victim.
So even
I won't do that.
Even we as officers, because
Okay.
there's certain things that you can't divulge to the public.
so
when it comes to
again, I
victims'
understand your limitations, but that doesn't surely take away our rights.
You
Though.
should have them in the back in a private, secured area. Keeping them
There's
out in the
nothing
public.
private and secure about this building.
Well, I can see if I can see the person, then I'm gonna
There's
say.
nothing- so and there,
What if I
there
walk?
is the
Well, let me turn the camera off and I walk in, right? And I see this person, and I recognize her, and then I go back and I tell Robbie or whatever,
It's happened.
the one that's abusing her.
It's happened.
But I don't have a camera. It's happened.
It has
that's the onus is on you to keep them private.
It has happened.
So if you put them in a private part of that building,
As best as we can, we do.
That wind's gonna get you
put
every
them in a
time,
private
man.
part of the building so we can come in. That would be great.
As best as we can, we do.
Yeah.
As best as we can, we do.
Can you bring
Right
it
now,
to,
no.
into the back so we can go in?
There's no back right
Conduct
now.
business.
No.
All right, guys. And then he's threatening us with arrest if we do. So.
Did he?
Normally
I can't
do
believe you
walk
would do
in.
that, Lieutenant.
I
Because
can't believe it. He
is
said
my-
he practices his rights.
It
He
is
said
my
he
legal right to go in.
exercises.
Did you actually
his-
say that? Did he
Yeah, he
arrest
says
us?
in his free time he exercises his
we gotta
abilities.
And I'm gonna be professional just to see
I don't
what's
know.
professional with me.
I'm about done with this guy.
Yeah, all right, Lieutenant.
Boring.
Go take care of business,
Have a nice
man.
day. Stay safe.
Boring as a can of paint.
Yeah.
Enjoy the eats right
Like,
around here.
this is
Uh,
what